Hi guys, it's Kai and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be part 2 of a two-parter video sponsored by Klaiyi Hair. In the part 1, I showed you guys how to sew a wig together from scratch using just some bundles and a frontal. Sorry, I'm okay. Thanks for asking. But here, I'm going to show you guys how to take a wig, whether it's one that you just made or just bought or just bleached down to a platinum blonde, or if it's your real hair, how to take it from platinum blonde to this color. So I was inspired by Lady Gaga circa Telephone, Monster Ball, with the yellow and the blonde streak in the front. Looking at some other reference pictures, her hair might have not been this of an obnoxious yellow. The blonde that she was rocking might have been more of a natural blonde, but I kind of did things my way. I like the way that it turned out. I like how this light streak in the front really blends into the rest of the hair, and I love how vibrant the color is. I used the watercolor method for most of it. I used the Arctic Fox Cosmic Sunshine. You only need to get one of these big bottles that are 8 fluid ounces, and you can do the entire wig in this. I still feel a little bit left over. Imagine if I just squirted it right on my body. Luckily, it's closed. Anyway, if you guys want to see how I achieved this color, then just keep watching. So I've got to confess, I actually tried putting another color on this wig, and I didn't like the way that turned out. So I used a color remover and basically lifted the color out, which left the wig looking a little more platinum than before. But that's why this doesn't look exactly how I left it back in part 1, but I put some deep conditioning treatments on it to prep it for this new color that we're going to be putting on today. I started out by sectioning off some hair in the front that I wanted to keep clean for that streak of blonde. So it's basically just like 3 inches behind the hairline, and I just went temple to temple. So section off more hair than you think you want, because you can always change your mind and dye it yellow if you kept it blonde, but it's harder to go the other way and dye it back to blonde if you dipped it in the yellow. So I put that in a braid to keep it out of the way. And then, as I mentioned, I'm going to be doing the watercolor method with this hair. So I filled up a tub with some warm tap water, and I soaked in the wig first to get it wet. And I'm going to use a whisk to mix in some semi-permanent hair color from Arctic Fox. Don't use the whole bottle. These bottles from Arctic Fox are actually quite big. You only need a little bit. It's better to use a little at a time and do multiple sessions than to use a lot all at once. This way we'll get more even coverage when we're able to do multiple sessions of it. So dip in the hair, leaving out the part that we braided off, and this takes to the color really quickly. You can leave it in for about 30 seconds to a minute. Any longer than that is not really going to be that effective. I like to move it around and massage it because the inner parts of the wig will have a harder time soaking up the color. So while it looks bold and even on the surface, you'll often find a couple of missed spots on the inside. So I'm going to take it out and inspect the inside and see if there are any of those missed spots. So that is why I saved some of this color to use in a second session, so that I can focus more on the inside hair. And for this wig, I didn't bother to take extra precaution in protecting the lace from getting stained by the color because, number 1, most of the lace isn't going in the water because that's what we've sectioned off. And number 2, yellow isn't particularly a color that really badly stains the lace, unlike, say, red or blue or black. So 2 sessions of that, about a minute each, should be sufficient. If I applied this color the traditional way, I would have used so much more product, needed so much more time, so I love the watercolor method for these all-over colors. So I let the hair dry overnight. I didn't immediately wash it out because all I'm going to do is start adding more color anyway. Taking down the braid, I decided to dye yellow some more sections of hair. I really veered far from the reference picture, like Gaga really had the entire top of her head blonde, but I just wanted this thin, cute little blonde streak in the front. So most of it I did indeed dye yellow. And this is also going to be your chance to inspect the inside of the wig, and if you notice that there are spots that are not as bold, not as even, this is the time you can directly apply the dye to them. As for that blonde streak in front, because I had lifted my wig to a super platinum, it's almost white, I wanted it to look a little more blonde, so I could have got a toner from the store. I actually just decided to use my yellow dye, but diluted with a lot of conditioner so that it would be very, very subtle. And I washed it out right after, scrubbed it with shampoo so that that part would be a very faded, pale yellow. But as for the parts that we want to be very bright and dark, you can let the color sit on there for about 30 minutes before you wash it out with conditioner, not shampoo. And the color was that easy, so to style this hair, I used a curling wand from Ion. It's 1.25 inches in diameter. I like to pin up the curls to cool so they're a little bouncier. I always start at the bottom of the wig and go up in sections, using some heat protectant spray from Redken to protect the hair. I don't usually tease my human hair wigs, but for this one I wanted a little bit of a lift at the top, so I backcombed the hairline just a little bit. Human hair tease is much easier, I find, than synthetic, so there's a lot less effort needed, but the downside, I find that if you tease a lot, you can completely ruin the curl, so just tease it very gently, separating the part where you want the part to be, and then you can smooth it out and play with it until it's nice and smooth. So you guys, this is the finished result. I love the way it turned out. I tried another one of their colors out, Neon Moon, in a separate wig that I made. They both look like they're yellow from the front, but Neon Moon is a little bit of a lighter yellow, sort of almost bordering on a neon green. And it glows in the dark, but the Cosmic Sunshine is much more bright, much warmer, closer to an orange, but truly a true yellow. I'm really into it. I hope you guys liked watching this video. It was lots of fun to do. It's one of my favorite wigs I've made in a while now. Let me know if you guys have any other ideas of any other famous wigs or hair on other celebs that you'd like me to recreate. But until my next video, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!